I find that it's hard to break down what I've uncovered over the past 5 years of solitude and meditation and deep reflection on reality. I find it hard to break that down in a way that's believable, to convey the pieces to someone in a way so that they'll both understand it and believe it. Because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what's really going on, what's really happening in reality, because it has no relation with what you think is happening. So this video is for my more advanced, for the advanced students of mystical arts, mysticism, whatever you might call it, spirituality. This is for people who already understand what I mean when I say the inherent ultimate presence of reality. So if you don't understand what the ultimate presence is, what the ultimate absolute source of reality is, what I mean when I say that, then maybe go back and watch my last, video or two. I think I covered this, but ultimately, reality is something. Ultimately, reality has a ground, it has an observer, it has a state that it does indeed exist in, objectively. And what very, very few people have ever realized is that this ultimate state is, you don't just call it God for no reason. You don't just anthropomorphize it for no reason. What I'm trying to say is it has an inherent ability to think, has an inherent ability to create, and from absolutely nothing, from an uncaused condition, the ultimate state of reality effectively imagined this entire universe into existence, and it's doing that right now. And this is something expected, and this is something that you can deduce and understand. So how did it do this? Well, billions and billions of years ago, there wasn't a universe, but there were things. There was something happening because there can't be nothing happening. So billions and billions of years ago, or before time existed, or whatever, before the Big Bang at least. Maybe you can't ascribe a before-ness to this, but I'll just say that. There was just an ultimate, undefined presence. It came into being, it never came into being, but it was there. And something stirred. Something happened, because something has to happen. Because reality has to qualify as an experience. This is the point right here. The ultimate state of reality has to be something that is something. It has to qualify as an experience. There has to be an isness and a quality to it. It can't just be completely silent and void. And that's obvious to some people because, of course, if it's silent and void for 100 billion years, then eventually something will happen and it will spark to awareness. But let's extend on this topic. It sparks to a minimal state of awareness, which I'm sure a lot of you understand. What after that? Well, thoughts appear, logic appears, memories, a sense of self that appears, becomes a creative force. And it does this because more complicated mental states last longer. They don't slip away like a meaningless noise, like static on a TV. They don't just evaporate. So the quality of isness, it prefers these more complicated thinking states of reality. And this will happen despite a lack of a physical brain. There doesn't need to be a brain as the ultimate source of reality. It just has to be something that's fluid and changing, in which it is. The ultimate state of reality, it flows and redefines itself just like it's doing every moment, just like it's doing now. It's always in flux. It's never static. And I guess my only point here is that that simple nature of it leads to thoughts almost immediately, or leads to a state of awareness. And that state of awareness has continued for billions and billions of years, and it created the universe. because it became too conscious to not do it. The ultimate state of reality became conscious in a lonely, meaningless place. And we can all be grateful that it created this entire world, and it gave us meaning, it gave itself meaning. It created meaning out of nothing. And I think that's something we can all appreciate. And we can all try to strive for good health and to do good things in life, because this is really special what's happening. And it's being created and renewed every single second. And I guess my next point here is that it's still happening right now. The thoughts that you're having right now, they're occurring directly within God. Every single action you've ever taken, every step you've ever taken, every breath, every stroke of genius, every despair you've had, these were always freely available to God. That's the nature of free will. Free will is just things appearing within God because God is flowing. You're literally willing yourself into existence by thinking. You created yourself. If you go back and think about your childhood, there was a time where there wasn't a you, but there wasn't an idea of you. There was nothing happening in your brain. But over time, you built up this personality, you built up this worldview, you basically invented logic, but it was God doing that the entire time. Everything that's been happening from the moment you were born has been 100% spiritual, 100% ethereal. You have never had a physical form. You've been imagining the entire thing as God, and you'll be doing this forever and ever. Don't listen to me. Don't even read the texts. I never read anything that told me this. Well, I did years ago. I used to have to, I watched actualize.org years ago, and that's how I kind of got introduced to this, but I always knew it. Or I've always been in the process of figuring this out, but I'd advise you to just simply look at reality and realize that this is happening. That's it.